Hello and welcome to my kitchen. It is Friday and the weather is absolutely craptastic outside, and although it's like not impossible to be doing things in the gardens, which is where I need to be at, specifically the summer high tunnel, working on getting that planted, it's just kind of miserable, and it has been miserable, and it's going to be miserable Sunday and Monday. It is what it is. It's springtime. We're hopefully getting some moisture Sunday and Monday, but yesterday and today the wind is just like atrocious, like 40 miles an hour. Like, it's not very much fun being in the high tunnels. You're like essentially inside a giant kite that you hope doesn't blow apart. So I've checked all the things, everything's fine. I'm gonna make the most out of the day, even though it's like not, if I like Monday when I planned out my week, this is not what I was going to be doing because there's so much outside stuff to get done, but gonna make sure that find something productive to do with the day. And I want to make a video for you guys because it's Friday and I have frozen corn in my freezer from last summer that I need to make into cream corn for the farm store. I've been making cream corn for a couple of years now. It is super popular when I have it in stock. I meant to do this winter. It didn't happen. I always say I'm gonna get so much done in the winter and I don't know, I'm still busy. So anyhow, I have 11 pounds of corn, and this is not all the corn that I have in the freezer. This is local corn. I don't grow corn, but I work with a grower over in the Hewlett, Newcastle area. I don't know specifically where their farm is at, but they live in Gillette and they have family land over there and they grow corn. And I have been buying corn from them for years because it is just not something that I like. Sweet corn, all corn takes up like a lot of space. It requires a lot of nutrients. Our wind is really hard on it. I'm just like not great at growing corn, and they can grow really nice corn. Their nights also stay like a little bit warmer over there, whereas like it gets cold here at nighttime. Like summertime cold, like it can still dip below 50 quite often in the summertime. So anyhow, some things it is okay to not do all the things and to outsource that. So Kelly and Ellen are great corn growers, so I buy it from them. So last summer I bought a whole bunch of corn, sold a bunch at the farm store. We ate a whole bunch of it, but then I always buy extra so that I can make cream corn in the winter / May. So this has not been blanched or anything like that. It was just cut off the cob and put into freezer bags. So it's not thawed because I didn't take it out. So I'm gonna get it out. We're gonna put it in a big pot. Cream corn is pretty simple to make. It's just basically some corn. We're gonna make a roux to thicken it, and salt, pepper, sugar. You can add other seasonings if you wanted to. And then I do actually freeze it, and then it gets sold as a frozen product. So, okay, I'm gonna get this out of the bags. Very frozen. And I will be back. I have 2 very large chunks of corn. I'm just gonna put this on the stove on like low temperature and let it kind of defrost and come apart. And then we will move on to the next step. I went ahead and added like 3/4 of a cup of water to the pot just to help it like make some steam and like get it going just a little bit faster and make sure that the bottom doesn't scorch, like the sugars in the corn don't stick to the pan. It will, because it's all frozen, like as it defrosts and stuff, it will kind of create its own moisture and stuff, but I just wanted to get it going and give it a little bit of help. So you can use fresh corn for this. You can use canned corn, just drain it. You can use frozen corn. You can just buy frozen corn at the store. Like, you don't have to use fresh corn, but you can in the summertime, especially when it's like cheap, or if you can get it local, you can use fresh corn. And just like I did, you can cut it off the cob, freeze it, and then do it when you have time. So I will have a recipe in the description for you that is like a more normal portion and not 11 pounds of corn. While I'm just, waiting for that to do its thing, I wanted to just give you guys a little update on some things. I will have a calving update for you. I will hopefully probably go try and film that later today and probably put it out this weekend. It'll just be like a short. It won't be a long form content. I'm not done calving yet. And I know a couple of people have asked about like pink number 12, my yearling that is potentially bred. Like 95% sure that she's bred. She's not close to calving, and so that will be some time until she calves from like what I can gather looking at her. Haven't really seen her like change much or progress, which is fine. She can keep going. She can wait. She's in the dry lot with 40 and 86 and stuff, but I will get you guys a calving update. I'm not done, and I'm not just waiting on number 12. during the 30 and 30 live stream finale, I asked if you guys wanted to see live streams happen like once in a while, and I got a lot of yeses from that conversation. And so I'd like to kind of just get some feedback from you as to like what works the best. What days, what times, I know I'm not going to be able to accommodate everybody, and like they'll always be posted that you can replay them, but is there a particular, I'm guessing probably evenings work the best, weeknights, weekends, what do you think? Do you have a preference? Do you not have a preference? Are you not interested in live streams? I mean, that's all fine. Like, I would like to do them maybe just like once a month or something. And so I just want some feedback from you guys as to what works for you, because there's no point in me doing them if like nobody can come. And so, noon on a Tuesday is probably not the best time. I mean, that's like convenient for me, but probably not for you. So you can just let me know in the comment section if you have a preference on live streams and stuff. Like, I would love to kind of figure out a time, and we can try something, and then like if it doesn't work, we can try it a different time. I'm flexible. But yeah, and obviously the focus of the live stream would kind of depend on like what's going on the ranch, but we could do one out with the cows and kind of just do a cow check and hang out with them. And I don't know if there's something you'd like to see during a live stream. If you just want to see like morning, again, if I do like morning chores or something, then it has to be like in the morning. So that's probably not like the best time. So I don't know. If you have an opinion about live streams, please let me know in the comment section. I would truly appreciate it. My corn has been stirred and it's like mostly broken apart. There's still like a little bit of frozen stuff in it, frozen corn. But I'm going to go ahead and get started on the roux. Roux is just like, it's a thickening agent. It's butter, flour, milk, and heavy cream is what we're going to use. And you can I'm using 3 sticks of butter for my 11 pounds of corn. I will, again, smaller measurements for you. But it's something that you can kind of customize, like how thick you want your cream corn. And like, I never write down a recipe when I do this. Like, I just kind of go off of thickness and feel, and that's kind of how I cook, as you guys know. Like, we're gonna measure. But we're gonna just kind of like do this to your taste. So like salt and pepper, and I am gonna put sugar in it and stuff too, to bring out the sweetness in the corn and to like balance everything. So some of this can be customizable. How thick you want your cream corn to be is also customizable. Like if you want it thinner, just put in more milk. If you want it thicker, don't put in as much milk. Do it how you like it to be. You can also blend some of the corn if you want to, like take some out, run it through like a food processor or a blender, or stick an immersion blender in it. I'm not gonna do that because I want whole kernels of corn, but cooking is like a choose your own adventure. So do what works for you, what tastes good for you, so on and so forth. So I have 3 sticks of butter. So that is a 1.5 cups of butter. So you always do equal parts of flour and butter when you're doing a roux. So I will do a 1.5 cups of flour. But we're gonna let the butter melt first. I'm gonna use about a 1.5 cups, maybe 2 cups of flour. I do like my cream corn to be on the thicker side. Oh, I just spilled flour all over my stove. That's fun. Want to get this nice and whisked in. And then we're going to let this cook for, 5 minutes or so to cook out that flour taste before we add in our milk. And I'm just going to whisk it, try and get all the lumps of flour out. I don't want this to like turn color or anything. We're not cooking it long enough to to darken the flour. But I do want to get rid of the flour taste in it. I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit. I'm like in between, I'm like medium low. You're going to want to see this come to a boil. And then I'm just stirring my corn on occasion so that it doesn't like stick to the bottom or anything like that. All right, now it's all like defrosted. Lots of corn. There is some liquid in the bottom of the pot of corn, so I'm gonna leave the lid off so it kind of cooks off some of that liquid. And that's just the liquid that comes out of the corn and from the like freezing process and stuff. I don't need to like drain it or anything like that. I'll just leave the lid off now. Let it do its thing. I do have corn everywhere from when I was trying to break up the frozen corn. Our butter and flour is ready to add some milk. I'm gonna start with about 4 cups of milk, and I'm just gonna slowly whisk this in. It's gonna immediately like thicken, and I'm just gonna keep whisking and adding small amounts of milk and trying to get all the clumps out. We don't want clumpy cream corn. It's super thick right now. It will thin out and then it'll get thick again. But I like to slowly add my milk rather than just like dump it all in, because I feel like you can, like it's easier to like whisk out the clumps this way. And get a little arm workout while you're doing this too. Make sure to scrape the bottoms and get along the edges and stuff so that you don't have flour that's going to stick and burn. I'm going to take a spatula and scrape. Oh yeah, see, I do have some clumps. See? I'm going to go ahead and add in 4 cups of heavy whipping cream. And then I will end up adding more, but I'm going to make this part just like, it's going to get really thick. And then we'll put it into our corn. And then we'll add more liquid as needed. So I'm going to keep stirring this on occasion and let it cook for about 10 minutes or so, or until it gets thick. It's been about 10 minutes now, and this is starting to get really nice and thick. Definitely not something that you want to walk away from because it will burn, but you can start to see not liquidy so much anymore. I'm going to let this go just a couple more minutes. But we're almost at the point where it's thick enough that I want to put it into the corn. Once it starts to thicken, it goes pretty quickly. If this does come to a boil, it's going to splash really bad. There, we got like 1 bubble. So we're right at like just boiling. I don't need it to boil. But want it to cook long enough that all that flour taste does come out. It's nice and smooth, super thick. We'll add more liquid once we get it into the corn to reach the desired consistency that we want. It's gonna essentially be like wallpaper paste. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat off. That's where I want it. I'm gonna try and not make a mess. Is that possible? Probably not. I also could use a pot holder, but I don't have one. I mean, I do, but I have sleeves too. I'm gonna scoop this into the corn. The corn is just kind of at like a low boil right now. I can hear that liquid like simmering. Oh, I'm gonna make a mess. Once I get some of this out of here, I'll just tip it and dump it in. I'm gonna mix everything together. I'm gonna add in salt to taste. It's probably about 2 tablespoons, maybe not even that much. 2 really big pinches, 2.5 pinches. I'm gonna start with about 1/2 cup of sugar. And as much black pepper as you want. I did give it a little taste test already without you, and it needs more salt. Don't be afraid of salt. That's what is gonna ultimately taste like really good, high quality, like restaurant style cream corn. And the sugar too is gonna help bring out all that flavor that is in the corn. Needs more pepper too. This isn't like a healthy dish, so just enjoy it, okay? Don't eat it every day. Just enjoy it though. Because I am making this for the farm store, I won't go like super crazy on the black pepper. That way people can like, and I always tell people this in the farm store and stuff too, like I will salt it to like what I think is an appropriate amount of salt, which is probably more than most people would use. It's not like salty. Don't think that the stuff you buy in the farm store, if you do visit, is going to be salty, but I'm not afraid to use salt. But like pepper and other spices and stuff, like I don't want it to be super overpowering. If I was making this for myself, I would probably put some garlic powder in it. You could also like saute some onions if you wanted to at the beginning. That would be really good. I don't think I'm going to add any more liquid, more milk or more cream, because I like it thick. I don't want it to be like soupy on my plate. But this with a steak and like I have fresh asparagus right now in the garden, that'd be a great dinner. This is 1,000,000 degrees. You want to watch me burn my mouth? Okay. That's like perfect. I would probably put like just a tiny bit more salt in it, but for the farm store, it's perfect. I get a hint of black pepper like at the end. It's nice and thick. The corn tastes sweet. Yeah, this is perfect. It's good. This doesn't need to cook for like a long time or anything. It's a pretty quick side dish, and how I sell it in the farm store is frozen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer it into like some shallow Tupperware containers, And then I'm gonna put it in the, I'm gonna let it sit out at room temperature for just like a little bit while I like load my dishwasher and clean up my mess. And then I'm gonna take this to the shop, and I have commercial refrigerators in the shop that I like store my produce and whatnot in. And it's not really like produce season, although I do have a few things in the farm store now. But I am going to let this cool in the refrigerator, and then, and I transfer it to shallow pans like this, containers, so that it cools faster. Like if I just went through this like metal pot in the, that's hot, like with super hot contents in it, and the flour and everything is hot, like this would, the center of this would take forever to cool, and you'd end up potentially like making somebody sick. So shallow pans, containers, not even all the way full. And then once this cools, I will, like later tonight or tomorrow, I will transfer it into like deli style containers, and then I will freeze it. You want it to be cooled off before you put it in the freezer, and then you also want to get it from this hot like boiling state to cool pretty quickly. This recipe cannot be water bath canned if you are interested in canning it. Flour is not a thickening agent that can be safely water bath canned. I don't know about pressure canning because I don't pressure can, so I don't know the rules for that. But if, like, I've made like pie gel and stuff before. No, not pie gel, pie filling. And traditionally it's made like thickened with flour. If you're canning pie gel, water bath canning it specifically, again, like I don't know about pressure canning, you have to use a product called Clear Gel, Sure Gel, nope, Clear Gel. And you can buy it on the internet, on Amazon and stuff. I've used that before to make like pie filling. I used to do a lot with like cherry and apple pie filling, and I'd sell it at the farmer's market. I don't do that anymore. It's like a lot of work. It's delicious, but a lot of work. But when I was learning how to do that, I did learn that you cannot water bath can stuff that has flour in it, because the same thing with like cornstarch, like it doesn't, the liquid doesn't penetrate it enough, and then you can't actually, like you can end up with pockets that don't get hot enough and through water bath canning, and so then you know you can have botulism. So don't can this. This isn't a canning recipe. I freeze it. I know dairy is sometimes like, don't freeze it. I've never had a problem with this. I know some stuff that I make with dairy, like I have had a hard time with freezing, like it'll break. It still tastes fine. It just like makes the texture weird. I don't want to sell a product like this. This does fine as long as I like cool it properly. So these are going to sit on the counter, like I said, while I like clean up. I'm going to stir them a little bit, and then I will put them in my refrigerator that is like nicely cleaned and sanitized and like ready for produce season, which is great. So, and I will leave like the lids off, and again, like still come back and like stir once in a while just to like let that steam escape. So we'll get it from this like really hot temperature to a cooler temperature as quickly as possible. You could also pop this like in an ice bath tray. I'm not going to do that, but you could. Thank you for hanging out with me today while I couldn't be outside doing the things that I had initially planned, still making the day productive. And now I have another restock of a product for Farm Store, and my customers, I think, will be happy to have this. Also, starting to get into like RV season and Harvest Host and stuff, and so they often will purchase this. So that's great. I'm glad to have it back in stock. I need to make ice cream. I need some people to buy some soup. I have a lot of soup in the freezer right now. And I made a lot of soup this year, like a lot this winter. So I need some of that to go, so I have room for the ice cream. So if you're in the Gillette area, come buy some soup. But yeah, and cream corn will be probably like next week, because this has got to do its cooling thing and all that stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you have a good weekend, and I will have a calving video out for you, little short video, probably Saturday. So thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time.